Hello, this is Kim. This reading is technically in June. It's for June 11th and then the following week. If you find it later, then it's meant to be yours. I'm doing this out of my car, not because I have to or that a huge truck just had a park next to me, but because it's definitely something that I can't necessarily bring into the house. And the pride stuff is not the problem. It's the spending money on stuff that is the problem. So like a lot of these things, I'll be like, they're gifts. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. It's the first year that I felt like I could, do Pride Month and be like, I'm okay with this. I'm not like taking it away from anyone. I have I have been all over the spectrum over the years. Um, you know, I've called myself many things, both in writing and and all, and like I guess life and love and the lack of love. Usually it's unrequited, probably technically limerence. And then I like focus on that person and it doesn't matter the gender or nothing about that. It's more about the person and I'm very much about the mind. Like if you can keep up with me intellectually and you can talk to me about science or poetry, I'm like I'm down. I'm down. Like let's talk. I bought myself a pride balloon. Yes, yes, I did. In the far back, you can see a butterfly. Technically not a butterfly. I guess it's a dragonfly because I couldn't find a butterfly for me. I'm gonna go to my fourth grandmother who is definitely being abused at her facility, and I have started all sorts of proceedings. We're trying to get stuff together. I want so that I can stabilize the situation, go once or twice a week, not every day for like 12 hours. Like I've been staying there until like 11:20 at night. Visiting hours are over at 8. They know I'm there, but it's still not really proper to be there. But I have to, you got to do what you got to do. Um, so like that's like the other thing that it's not like Happy Pride Day, as you would do. It's definitely, you know, everything else. I suppose it's Pride Month technically, but it's changed over the years, and I am an old person. Um, this is probably gonna be a gift, but like they even at the Crystal Fox had like Pride soap, and I'm like, yeah, baby. This seems to be the year that like Giant and other like major retailers have finally caught on. And I really hope it's not just consumerism. I really hope that it's like true support. So that is one of the reasons why I was like, well, this is the year that we do Pride. This is the year I feel like I can buy, the queer tarot and such that we're going to be using. Um, Again, it's about comfort, about not claiming. And I don't feel like I'm claiming anything anymore from anybody. You got the rainbow bagels. I just like want to show you like the awesomeness. Oh, by the way, they're good. So they're not just like multicolored. My favorite cake was already like rainbow. You've seen it, the rainbow cake before on my Facebook. But yeah, so like this is like my random long introduction to the three tarots that I'm going to use. Now, because it is Kim, we are going to use her new one that I had planned before I had other plans. I make rash decisions sometimes. And that is, and we'll probably use this again in a more, this is just, I pulled one card, more as a guide. It's Egyptian Star Oracle. And like, as you can see, you can't get the full value in the car. So when I'm in my office, we will definitely like go into it. So little booklet. And this is just like sort of like, I guess as the beginning, I picked it last. Or I drew it last, whatever you want to call it, okay? And it is the 7 death and endings. And this is considered what they're calling traditional Egyptian tarot. Like our oracle. So it's interesting because it's in DCAN. So deacons, I guess. And there's only a certain number of them. And those are like the ones that you go by instead of like 72 and the tarot and that sort of thing. So it's interesting that other Obviously, other cultures have other ways of divining, but the idea that using cards and images really like interests me. I got this because of like, oh, it's 20% off, and just got back from archaeology, but I really like it. So this is a transliteration, Tamat Karet. So it's Tamat, and then there's a KHR Kar At. So I guess I already pronounced it wrong twice. Translation, lower wing. They have the Egyptian name. You can look it up. Um, and it's a Deccan group, Crane Mineral Gold. Death and endings. Tamat Karet, the lower wing, is the end of the Crane group of decans and also represents endings and death in general. Students of the traditional tarot will understand why this card is not found at the end of the deck, because death is only one phase of our existence. Just as the death card is found in the 13th position in the major arcana of the tarot, here a card with a similar meaning and symbolism lies with the 7 decan. The Egyptians did not fear death the way it is currently feared, because in their experience, death was merely a gateway to another realm. In this new phase of existence, they would have a short period of rest, followed by judgment for their actions undertaken in life, before enjoying a second life that was everlasting. When contemplating the meaning of this card in your readings, try to abandon the Western conceptions, okay, of death. So that's what we're going to do. All right. We're going to abandon just like, under the ground, dead, whatever. All right. There's more to life, right? And I know you're like, but we just said there's more to death, and there is. And it just sort of goes into a circular sort of, idea that death has, like the word has many different ideas associated with it, like the death of, a way of life, the death of a system of belief, like that sort of thing. Like, there's so many little deaths that we go through as we transform every day, perhaps every second. So in this card, in a reading near Carrie Hept in Decan 3, which we didn't get because I only pulled one. Perhaps we should just go to what it might actually mean. In the context ending, is this card may be inviting you to take a look back at your life and perform an inventory of your accomplishments and failures before moving on to other things. Now, as our question yesterday, I had already decided before I pulled this that I want us to do a list again. I had us do a list, and I did a list in January. Everything that I did the year before, I didn't give myself credit for. And then, like, maybe we don't have to do a year. Let's do a day or a week. Everything that we do, and then everything that we don't give ourselves credit for. Oh, I cleaned the toilet today. I got up today. Oh, there's a mouse in my room, and I put down humane traps today. Like there's things that we don't think of as like accomplishments, but that really show that we're growing. So there you have it. And like there is a history here. During the week the Egyptian calendar is taking the river ritual occurs, an event in which the depth of the Nile River was measured at various temples and reported to the pharaoh's administrators, who used the figures to determine annual rates of taxation. Tamat Karet is most likely the binary star Spica Alpha Virginaris, located in the constellation of Virgo. Spica is one of the brightest stars in the night sky and is located around 250 light years from the sun. Its name in Arabic is grape gatherer or gleaner, which is a possible indication of a bird. All right, so in terms of a pride sort of thing, I guess you could call it a pride reading. I don't know if I really want to call it that. I'm using Queer Tarot, but you definitely would have to go and sort of think of new beginnings. And even if you do not necessarily identify or are just, not lie, this can still be for you, this reading, okay? So we change our beliefs all the time, and we change others' beliefs all the time, okay? So there is a ritual here, but I want to just understand that it doesn't have to be our necessarily death of ideas. you know, there is just like living our truth and being supportive and being supportive of us and depending on, and like we change like people's attitudes. Having friends that were, um, at the time we were not calling them queer. You know, like I said, years have passed and the terminology has changed. It was definitely gay. Um, and like knowing it was always, oh, if he wasn't gay, he'd be the perfect boyfriend for you, Kim. He'd be the perfect husband, and that sort of thing. And I always found that offensive of my family. I won't say which part of my family. And as time went on, you know, the conception of that homosexuality was bad was going away. Okay. They knew this person and this person was good. And then they knew this other person that Kim knew and they were good. And they worked with this person and they were open and out and they were also good. And like suddenly, because of education and knowing people and learning about actual people that we can like touch and shake hands with and say hi, um, everything changed, beliefs changed. So like that is one thing that I want to keep in mind, that it doesn't have to be our beliefs that have to change. Perhaps that we can just inspire others to like rethink or just think in general and just sort of go, okay. So the ritual work to Karet can bring hardship to your enemies. It also cures or causes depression and a good decan for dealing with disorders of the skin. For detailed information on how to perform the ritual to invoke the decan, use this card and refer to the instructions beginning on page 21. Well, that's not for this one, okay? When I do this, like a full actual, like I'm doing a spread, you'll go there, unless you want to like DM me and be like, now, these tarots, I couldn't decide, and I was leaving one behind and pretty much leaving one behind. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. Man, I can't do that. Oh, man, I can't do that. Okay. So these go together, the queer tarot. This, of course, goes into this box. But it is just like a fabulous blue, sort of insides and purples. And I mean, like, it is like lovely imagery, but like you'll see as I go through it that it's not as, I don't want to call it real of a deck, but it's more impressionistic in terms of writing and in terms of, uh, the the images. Now that I liked the Pride Tarot, but I was like, oh, I can't be that gimmicky, Kim. Kim, are you that gimmicky? But you know, I really like it. And these again might become gifts at some point because, you know, I have a lot of cards, but like I wanted to do this reading, so I was like doing this reading. It's taken me how many years to decide to do this reading? Um, More than we'd like to know. I'm not going to say my age. I've known about the tarot for a long time. Although it's in truth, these were not available a long time ago. So the Pride Tarot guidebook, of course, is not like, oh, as jarring as the other one. But you know, like the cards have such a different symbolism. And I do want to note that there is a special Pride reading. You can't see it here. Can't see it here. It's the rainbow spread. And like here, it's like life, healing, sunlight, nature, serenity, spirit. So just so you know that if you would like to purchase this somewhere, there is an actual like one that goes with it that sounds really interesting. Um, Not doing it here, but I already like deal with this like 9,000 hours later. You guys are like, oh my God, I got through, you know, hard one. All right. So we're gonna do the queer tarot first. Just because, like, why not? Lots of bright colors. The idea of it is that it is totally about inclusion. It is not just like homosexuality is totally transgender, all LGBTQA plus two, every alphabet pretty much. I used to be able to say, oh, it's the alphabet. And I think that now that is probably problematic. but at the time when I was going to the gay bar, it was not. Okay, so I was the girl that was in the corner doing her homework in the gay bar. So there you have it. You know me now. I'm sure that that says a lot about me. All right, this is a Seven of Cups. We have the Seven and Eight of Cups in this. And I don't want you to read this as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't think it's that. I think this is like a flowy energy sort of stuff. Okay. It's a goulash, okay, of what is going on in our lives. And it sort of gives some guidance. Okay. It is upright. The Seven of Cups, illusions, opportunities, choices. The Seven of Cups is a card of forward movement through new opportunities. Though be warned, some of these openings may be illusions and carry deceit. When there are so many options, it can be difficult to choose the right one for you. You may want to go for the nice and easy choice or the most exciting one, but in times like these, you should really listen to your gut. Try your best to weigh all options based on whether they align with your goals and beliefs. Evaluation of each option is key. What kind of work goes into each choice and what benefits will they reap? This card also suggests willful thinking. I said willful, not like willful, but it says wishful thinking about what you want for yourself and your future. And I don't consider wishful that same sort of, I think of wishful as like a fantasy. So I am going to use willful. We are making our destiny, okay? Willful thinking about what you want for yourself and your future. However, thinking is just that. Nothing will happen unless you start making moves. Contemplating a goal and working towards it is how you get to it. I'm going to start paraphrasing because I'm not even sure it has the right grammar. So you're trying to find a goal, go towards it, spend time with each idea and figure on which ones are most attainable, and start there and start achieving. So basically go small or go with the one that is probably like the easiest to do, where you can do 3 check boxes and you're like, got it. And then go from there and then build and build and build and build and build. Okay. So then you have many victories and then move to a bigger and more time consuming ideas. And like this is so that you feel empowered, yes, I have the success. Yes, I have this better success. Yes. And it really is about the emotion behind it, not only just like obtaining like, oh, this, goal will lead to this goal. That's not necessarily what is going on. It is this goal is an easy win. It'll make me feel like going to goal 2. There is a difference. All right. So there is some things to consider, it says here. Is something holding you back from moving forward with a plan or an idea? Are your goals realistic and achievable? Weigh your options. Start somewhere small. Okay, start somewhere small. I would also like to say that it doesn't have to be small. You can do big things. Sometimes big things you only have to do 1 or 2 like things in addition to what you've already done before, and you're like, big check mark. So maybe it's like that. Maybe it's still a big thing, but it just like takes a few less steps. I hope I am making that apparent, is that it doesn't have to be scary. The whole idea is like you do something first that isn't as scary, and then that makes you go to the next and to the next and to the next. Okay. So, and the model that this is based off of, because it is a model based off of her, is Tara Seuss, she, her. All right, and the Eight of Cups. And I will say that this is a hard deck to shuffle, but I shuffled it for like a good, 7 minutes. I cut the deck, shuffled both sides, so like it is meant for us. Okay, it's not just like, oh, Kim sucks. All right, this is Eight of Cups, and it is upright. Stagnation, moving on, letting go. The Eight of Cups is a high priority action card, encouraging us to drop the negativity from our lives and move on. This card appears when it seems like there is nothing left for you. You may be feeling like you put all into people, jobs, people behavior, only to find that your efforts are not reciprocated. Now is the time to ditch what doesn't sustain you and move forward to something that does. Damn straight, right? Only what serves us. And it's really, really damn difficult because people don't know when they judge you what you're doing is also for yourself. I am helping with abuse, right, of an elder. I'm sure I've said that here and I've said it on Facebook, and like the world knows now. Everyone tells me to stop, only worry about myself. But you see, like I am worrying about myself because I would be worrying about her the whole time, and then that's not good for me either. Might as well get something done and make a difference in the world. Small things, small acts matter, and they matter for our inner side and they matter for the outside. And if we do it for ourselves, somehow it reflects back into the world and vice versa. I decided to like go on my soapbox for a second there, and then I will continue to read. Think of it as saying goodbye to things that are holding you back and hello to bigger and better things that serve you. Discover yourself and what you desire. If you don't walk away from the past, you won't be able to make room for a richer and more fulfilling life. I hold grudges. I'm told I shouldn't hold grudges. I should just remember lessons, is how it's put. And that's a good idea. I haven't figured out how to do it, but I think that this sort of speaks to that a little bit. Letting go of those things that don't serve us. Some of it is our own, our not necessarily our memories, but how we view them and how we cling to them and how we judge other people through them. Things to consider. Imagine a door closing, another one opening. What do you see in the new doorway? Seek outside help from a group or friend if you're having trouble walking away. Do an activity that you love, something for yourself that you enjoy. The model is V. Arias, she, her. Okay. And I do like the images and the colors and everything, and you'll have to tell me like in the comments, sorry, that was totally my hand. What you like the most, okay? And let me get ideas. All right, this is a Pride Tarot. I had showed it before, but I want to make sure that you see it again. And this is guidebook, and I like it. Okay, we have two cards from this. One I drew, and I was like, this is the one for this one. And then there's always like that one moment where all of the cards topple to the floor. I can't reach them, and one is turned over, and that will be our next one and what we finish with. And what I think our overall energy with, whether male or female or they, any pronoun you want to have or not have is there. Okay. So the first is 5, the messenger. And this is usually considered the Hierophant, but here it is the messenger. And I like that idea. The messenger card portrays Genesis Gutierrez, an activist for transgender rights and immigrant protection. I apologize for that name butchering. I can't pronounce any names, so it's equal opportunity. Sorry. She is founding member of La Familia, trans queer liberation music movement. The messenger articulates 3 levels of consciousness. The physical plane, where you interact with ideas, culture, language, and people who surround you. The astral plane, where transitional energies, the spirits of your ancestors reside. And the institutionalized plane, where your hopes, fears, and values are prescribed by authority figures. Now, that third one I hadn't never heard of, and I think it's very intriguing because it really does like go back to like fear, or like what we consider bad within ourselves. It doesn't have to be without there. I mean, like, yes, of course, there's judgment out there too, but like within ourselves, I am bad, I am bad, I am bad is like something that usually like is in my ear whenever I am running late or whenever it's not like, oh, I'm late. Oh, shush, Kim. It's I am bad. And like that is something that I really think that those hope fears, and that is definitely the authority figures. Both actually in our families and those that raised us, and also in the broader context of our social culture. The messenger asks you to question those foundations that are based on fear and submission. She asks you to run between physical and astral planes, questioning the roots of the situation and excavating the parts of it that keep you sound and allow you to breathe. Okay? Breathe. The parts that rally your people and your connection to your community. The messenger asks you to lead by offering truth and elevating the voices of the unheard. The unheard. That's a lot of people. So if you do not necessarily have like a sense of being heard yourself, get out there and like yell. And I don't mean like you have to go on a podium. I mean like I started writing first and then speaking and reading and teaching and writing some more and not reading and writing and taking in all this stuff and then writing to governors and legislatures and like making a difference for individual people that would then go forth and make differences for others. And like I don't talk about it much because I mean it's a sense of privacy for the people, but I've gone to governors and had governors have action to help. So I mean like a power of the word and of just our own being and our light is a hell of a lot. And I thought this messenger card was going to finish this out. But we are given two. So the other is the high priestess. And again, you don't have to take this as female. All right, the high priestess, and it's by Polyphay that different people have done these. From the breath of the spirit realm, the high priestess brings gifts of wisdom and understanding. The guardian of mysteries, she holds secrets yet to be discovered within your life, urging you to seek the truth of your deepest desires. Her message is you possess all the intuition you need in making your biggest decisions. Let's take that a second. That means we have everything that we need to make our decisions. Have faith in yourself and listen to your inner voice. Let go of insecurities that keep you from experiencing all the love and magic that life has to offer. You're being called to awaken your inner knowledge and vast inner power. My energy is here to guide you in conquering your fears as you grow even more fully to be a courageous person you're meant to be. Do you see how all of those, even the damn Egyptian oracle sort of like beginning our journey has like led to this idea that we have to not necessarily change ourselves, but to know ourselves, know our truths, decide like our truths, or or even just like know that at this moment this is where we are. In the next moment we might not be there. In this moment we have to express ourselves. If we see an injustice, we have to go forth, whether people say that we should or not. Yes, I am all for everyone saying you have to have self-care to take care of yourself. Please do. Please do. But know that you can take care of yourself by helping others and that you are learning, expanding, growing every second that you both help yourself and others. Um, you are. And that, with this energy, I want to send us out. We are messengers and we are the high priestess. And I hope you are well. You stay well. And like march into battle, whatever that battle is, whether it's between you and depression, between you and your boss, between you and society, and maybe it's just the biggest one is holding out your hand and shaking somebody's hand. Well, I'm tearing up. So much love. Happy Pride. Glad to be back from the dig. So take care. Be well and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Next week is Letha. I don't really go by that term anymore, the summer solstice. Have some moments. I will be putting out stuff. I'm sure everyone else will be as well. Be well. hug someone. Bye-bye.